Good evening and welcome back to Let's Play Game of Thrones. When we left off last time, we just finished up with Roderick. We managed to secure our betrothal to Elena, so hooray for that. I was a little nervous. There was a point where she was saying, she said she still cares about him, so that's great, but she says feelings aren't enough. She said, let's be practical, and so I could have appealed to either her emotion, but we love each other. I decided, no, let's be practical, back. You can have some of our ironwood, because we really need this alliance. Then Lord Whitehill busted in on our meeting. It was incredibly rude. I'm a little concerned about the choice I made. We wanted Ryan to be able to come to the funeral for Lord Forrester and Ethan. And Whitehill's the one who's got Ryan, so it's kind of up to him at this point. He said he'd let him go if we kneeled down and kissed his ring. I chose not to, because I think it's important that our house not seem weak at this point. We've got to fight them every step of the way. I kind of am thinking now, well, maybe I should have just sucked it up and did it, because if he'd allowed Ryan to come, then that would be an opportunity for us to try to steal Ryan back. But I'm also wondering, if I had kissed the ring, he might not have let Ryan come anyhow, because Whitehill is a petty and cruel man, so he might have said, oh, too bad, you still don't get to have him. So, I don't know. But, forging ahead, let's see what we got here. Here's our buddy Gared, heading to the top of the wall. Oh, and Jon Snow.
You can't be fighting with the other recruits. You need those men to have your back. There's enough out here trying to kill
you know
us
nothing,
without
Jon
trouble
Snow.
amongst our own.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Now, obviously, I didn't start the fight, but anytime there's a fight, if you're the one always saying, like, I didn't start it, that's not what Jon Snow wants to hear from me. He just wants to hear that I'm going to not get into fights. So, and an interesting thing about the wall. So for people, we'll take a quick break here, because there may be some viewers who aren't as familiar with the world of Game of Thrones. So the wall it's something that has always been important, and they're constantly building up the ice wall higher and higher to keep out the terrors of the north. At this point, it's mostly just, well, as far as they know, it's mostly just wildlings, who are just people who live beyond the wall and aren't under the authority of the Westeros kings. So they can kind of be like raiders, sort of wild kind of people. There's also other things beyond the wall. There's the White Walkers, which are kind of like whites, and there's all kinds of dangers lurking there that mostly come out during winter. Because the seasons in this world are very different. It's not normal spring, summer, winter, fall. It's like the summers last for years, winters last for years. So, mostly for the wall, it used to be a very honorable thing to guard the wall, and the goal was always to build it higher and higher. But we're now in a period of long summer, and people have forgotten how bad the winters can be. It's been a long time since they saw it. Like, most of them think the White Walkers are just legends. They don't think that there's any truth to it, and that it's just the wildlings beyond the wall and nothing else. So they don't really perceive there being a legitimate danger. So fewer people volunteer to go to the wall. So the system Westeros often has in place instead is that criminals can sometimes go to the wall instead of like facing a different punishment. Like, that was our choice with Gared. Well, instead of keeping him here and having him murdered, we'll send him to the wall. So it's kind of like a punishment. But when they're at the wall, you're stuck there for life. You have to serve until you die. You're not allowed to get married. You're not allowed to father any children. You're not allowed family. You have to be devoted entirely to the wall. So the people who get sent up there, frequently, we have these situations where Gared was a squire, so he knows how to use the sword, he knows how to use the crossbow and everything. We saw others like Cotter didn't, because he was just your village guy who got busted thieving, and so he was sent to the wall. So, and a lot of this was like in Jon Snow's story when he first goes to the wall, that he's someone from a noble house, he knows how to do all this stuff, and a lot of the other recruits don't, and so they kind of resent him for it, because he's good at things that they could potentially be good at. They've, no one's ever taught them. They weren't in a social position to learn it. So that's why I kind of, even though Finn was a jerk, I don't necessarily want to write him completely off at this point, because, he is our brother in the Night's Watch now, or in the Watch. And then Cotter as well, even though he was a thief and he's, trying to poke at Finn, well, Finn was being a jerk to him too. These guys, even though they were both criminals, they're the Watch now. They're our brothers in arms. So I think it's possible. I would like to try and forge friendships with them. So I get what Jon Snow is saying here. And actually, I think we're well on the way. We were a little nice to each of them before the fight. Their main problem seems to be each other. So we'll try to mediate and smooth it out. In the meantime, I think
Gared.
Gared made a good impression.
Frostfinger told me about you. Seems to think you might be trouble.
Oh, come on.
He doesn't know me.
He's seen 1,000 recruits pass through those gates.
That doesn't mean he knows me.
He knows you better than you think. He said you fought for the North with the Forresters.
Mm-hmm.
You were there at the Twins.
Yes.
This is a thing that's very personal to Jon Snow, because he was from House Stark. So even though he's at the Wall and he's stuck there forever now, and that's the other part, when you're at the Wall, like, any claim that you had to your houses, if you were noble, is just gone. So, I mean, Jon Snow wasn't in the line for any sort of position as Lord anyhow, but if he had been, it'd be gone now that he's in the Wall. Once you're there, you don't get to leave. So he's really torn about that because he cares about his family. The Wall is supposed to be impartial. So all of the civil war going on is not supposed to impact the Wall. The Wall just does its own thing, guards against the wildlings and everything from north of the Wall. It doesn't care about all the civil war going on. But it's really hard for Jon Snow, of course, because his family is very much involved.
I still don't understand. 3,000 men, and not one could save my brother. Why didn't anyone fight back? Why didn't they rally to their king?
Nobody was expecting it. One minute we were drinking and telling jokes, and the next, the phrase cut us open.
Those cowards. Couldn't face Rob like men, so they stabbed him in the back. They couldn't even give him an honourable death. Let him die fighting.
Your brother would have won the North's freedom. He deserved to be king.
I was rooting for him. I wanted him to be
good at it.
king.
He was good at everything. Now the Freys command River Run, and the Boltons are wardens of the North.
That's pretty bleak.
After what they did. It's not right.
They killed my lord. I couldn't stop them.
Maybe I should have said family.
I keep thinking if I'd been there, I could have done something. But chances are, I'd be dead too. Whatever I once thought, my place is here. With the Night's Watch.
Yep. Although I imagine it would be really hard to try and separate yourself from everything going on with your family. But that's their lot.
There are those here who will hate you for who you are.
Yep.
Southerners who will call you traitor. Northerners who will call you craven. Some won't even have a reason. They'll hate you anyway. You can't do anything about it. Trust me, I know.
Why would they hate me?
You're different than them. Most of the men are criminals,
Yep.
forced to take the black. You were a squire for a noble house. What happened to you today happened to me more times than I can count. I learned there's nothing more important than having brothers you trust.
So, make friends, he's saying. I'm really enjoying this story on the Wall. There was some great bits last episode that I didn't notice as I was playing, but when I went back and reviewed my recording, I was able to see, like, at the very end, when Frostfinger's like, fine, go up on the wall, freeze your balls, his eyes get really, really wide, Gared's do. When Frostfinger says, freeze your balls off, like, oh no, I don't want that to happen. And then when Finn and Cotter are fighting, when Finn's like, it was you stole my sword, Cotter runs and hides behind Gared. That kind of cracked me up a bit. Oh, there
I
it
felt
is.
the same first time I saw it. I heard you want to be a ranger.
Yep.
Why? Why risk your life out there?
Well,
Winter is coming. I want to fight.
You'll have your chance, don't worry.
I could have told him the truth, but I don't know. Lord Forrester said tell no
Not
one.
many recruits want to be rangers. They'd rather stay here where they think they'll be warm and safe. But Mance Raider marches on the wall with 100,000 wildlings. I've seen them for myself. The men here are murderers. Thieves, rapers. You won't like most of them, and they won't like you. But they're your brothers now. Can you stand with them?
Of course.
Can
That's
you
how it
see
works.
past your differences?
I'll stand with them.
Glad to hear it.
There's no going back once you're here, so that's what it is. Why
I'd
didn't
say
we get
you'll
some
get
gloves?
used to the cold, but you won't. Come on. Better get by a fire, or you'll end up like Frostfinger.
Why don't you guys wear hats or anything, too? Come on. Bundle up. Oh, this must be Mira in her midnight meeting. Alright. Be cautious, Mira. Try to get a look at who's called you here in case it's an enemy.
I'm here, but where are you?
We don't want this to be some sort of weird, like, Cersei conspiracy or something. I think it's the Coal Boy, but that might be the game just tricking us. That startled me. Alright, easy does it. Try to look around some. Just peek around the corner carefully. Okay. Not there. Who is that? Is that the guy from the meeting? No, that can't be the person. No, no. Go down this side path. I don't think that's gonna be who it is.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm just having a walk.
At this time of night?
I was just headed back to my room.
It's a little late to be out, isn't it?
It's not your business, is it?
Do you know what this uniform means?
It means you serve the Lannisters.
So, you best get yourself back to your chambers. And I mean, now. If you don't like it, you can take it up with the commander.
No, I'm staying out here.
Are you deaf?
You don't get to tell me.
At ease, Lucan. The lady is with me.
Yes. So,
No, I don't trust this at all.
enjoy your night.
I hope he wasn't bothering you, my lady. I'm Damien.
Thank you, Damien.
It was my pleasure. You got my note.
Okay.
That was you.
I'm very glad you could make it. I've been wanting to talk to you for quite some time.
Why all the secrecy? If you wanted to talk to me, you could have asked.
It never seemed the right time.
I don't trust this. He's one of the Lannister guards. I just...
I am sorry about this, Mira. But you've made enemies of the wrong people.
He's here
A
on
handmaiden
Cersei's
should
beat.
know her place.
I should go.
I'll make this quick if that helps. I'd hate to see you suffer.
Hit him with the bucket. Yeah, good job. Claw him in the eyes.
Go!
All right. No, help him. Don't. Get up, Mira. Move. Yeah, stab him in the back. You do what you got to. We're saving our coal boy friend. You okay?
You?
What happened? What was that?
What did it look like? He tried to kill me.
Why would he do that?
Well,
What are you doing here?
I heard yelling. You did what you had to do, Lady Mira.
yeah, don't feel bad about that.
You had no choice.
He was going to kill you some
Someone
other
might see
time
me.
if he failed tonight.
Take care of him. I know a few places in Fleetwood. No one will ever find him.
All right.
Good luck. And be careful.
Thanks.
Everything all right, sir?
Do something about the
Damien,
dagger.
Where are you?
Mira, you got to keep moving. It's not looking good. If we kept it, then perhaps there might be a time later when we can use it to defend ourselves, or perhaps someone's going to find it and incriminate us. Better to throw it. This is the time. They don't have fingerprint technology here, so they're not going to be able to trace it back to us. Now here's where I wonder if we could have had Ryan. Maybe not, though. Whitehill's a really crappy guy. He may have just refused, even if I had kissed his ring.
What's Gwyn Whitehill doing here?
Leave
no
be.
idea.
Hello, Roderick. Sir Royland. It's been a while since we've met.
Oh, this is Asher's girl, eh?
Last time I saw you, you and my brother had almost started a war. Your father wanted to murder Asher for your little love affair, remember?
It's not her fault.
was
Her
a long
father's a
time
piece of
ago.
crap.
May we speak privately?
My lady?
Yep.
Roderick, I came here because I know how hard these past few days must have been for you and your family. I know my words probably mean nothing to you.
We can be kind to her.
Thank you, Gwyn.
She knows
I'm
it's her
so
father's
sorry,
fault. We
Roderick.
don't have to drive that home.
Your brother didn't deserve this.
Neither of them did.
Listen, I know my father is intent on using Ryan as a hostage, but I think you deserve some news of him.
Thank you.
I know it's little consolation, but if I can offer you this...
So you have news of Ryan?
Yes, he's well. Not happy, but just know your brother is safe at High Point.
For
I'm
now.
looking after him, but
What?
the other day he said something that made me worry.
What's
He
that?
asked me if his father died because he was a coward. He asked if he was really a thief and a traitor like my father says.
And of course you said
I
no,
don't wish
he's
to
not.
upset you, but
Please help him, Gwyn. Don't let him believe what your father tells him.
I've been doing my best to set him right. But he is only a child. He feels forgotten. Alone. He's waiting for his family, but every day my father tells him they will never come. That they've chosen their pride over him.
I will get him back. He'll be with his family again. You tell him that.
Of course. But if you truly want to bring Ryan home, this war has to end.
Yeah, by us winning
you
it.
know that. We don't have to be enemies, Roderick.
Hello, Gwyn.
It's good to see you, Talia. I hope I can count on your discretion.
Roderick,
What's up, Talia?
you should speak to Mother.
Alright.
Mother, come join the others.
He should be here. He should be with his family. But instead they send her.
Don't hold it against me. That's not gonna help.
Gwyn came here on her own. She wanted us to know Ryan is okay.
It's happening all over again. I can see it.
What is?
My father's house was once mighty like this one, but his loyalty to the Targaryens cost us dearly. I watched as countless of our kin fell, Saw our lands destroyed. Everything we clung to was ripped from our hands. I can't watch that same fate before this family.
Well, what do you want me to do?
Our house. My children.
I won't let that happen to us.
You must be ready to defend us, Roderick.
Mm-hmm.
Your body may be damaged, but your spirit must be like iron.
Yeah, I'm with
let
you.
Nothing stand in your way, do you understand?
Of course.
If you have to murder every last Whitehill down to the babes in their beds.
I will not murder babes in their beds.
No matter what, you must do it. Promise me.
I will kill anyone who stands in my way. I will do whatever it takes.
I will not kill children.
Remember that.
But
you must be ready. Promise me.
We will be ready, Mother.
I think it
Mira,
would help
Asher,
her
even Gared. They all stand with us.
at this point to hear that we'll do whatever it takes.
Be
You
strong.
gotta be strong.
Yes. I suppose we have to be.
But I just want to make clear now, if we do ever get a choice where it's like we're taking out the White Hills and it's like,
Would you say a
kill
few
the White
words,
Hill
Mama?
children or spare them, I'm gonna spare them. Ooh, hopefully she didn't hear that bit of conversation with my mom. That might be bad. Alright. She goes back and says to her dad, he said he would kill
My
babes too if
father.
he has to.
He was everything. Everything I ever wanted to be. He showed me what it is to be a lord. He was always honourable. I never knew a better man. I am sorry. I love you, Father. Ethan, my little brother.
We'll get
When
this.
I left, he was just a boy. But when his house needed him, he rose to the task, like a lord.
He would have been proud. We honor Lord Gregor Forrester, my husband, my love, and our Lord Ethan, my sweet little boy. But now is time to say goodbye. Father and son are returned to the earth, to the ice. And from their sacrifice, new life begins.
Iron from ice.
Iron
from
ice.
Alright. Well, I suppose we should start with Lord Forrester. And then Ethan. Oh yes, her song. I'd forgotten.
From ice we Forsters born, to ice we all return. Father, brother, I've sworn to guard this rest you've earned. I'd bare my neck to wail in pain and swim the shivering sea. Paint slavers bay in crimson rains to bring Ethan back to me. Snow grabbed me from my mother's grasp to claim me as his prize. Fight on, Ethan the brave. Old gods bear steel with you. Our Lord might win a hero's grave, so iron rose anew. Still iron rose anew.
Oh, that seems awfully final. Is that the end of episode 2? Aha! It was. Well, okay, so the house is in a tough position, but I feel like there's a lot of hope.
What's going on?
Roderick, you have to do something. Lord Whitehill's son has arrived.
These Whitehills.
Griff Whitehill means to torment us. Nothing worse than a fourthborn with something to prove.
It was bad enough when it was just the soldiers.
We can't live with them under our roof.
If we can just hold out a little longer.
And follow my lead. You'll be taking your vows. You too, Tuttle. Time to start proving you're a brother.
Oh, the things we do for family. I wonder sometimes if it's worth it. All the sacrifices. Enjoy the wedding.
How much further to Marie?
Oh, the wedding.
A few days.
If the Lost Legion doesn't catch up to us
That
first.
should be interesting.
No.
And of course,
I
whatever
overheard
Vesca's
a
thing
couple of
was is
men
going to get in the
whispering
way.
The Lannister Guard. They're questioning people. Is there anything else we need to be worried about?
No, I got rid of the knife. It's fine.
What was that?
We did not forge the letter, because it seems like a terrible idea that was going to come back on us badly. Most of us could not handle kissing Lord Whitehill's ring. Ooh, so the betrothal really was a dicey thing. Who does she look like? That kind of smile she's got right there, the way her lips are curved, something. She looks like some actress, and I don't know who. And maybe it really is. I haven't seen far enough in this series on TV to see who plays her. So maybe that's why she looks. Maybe she looks like the person who actually plays her is the actress I'm thinking of. I don't know who it is, but she does. Okay, stood up for Cotter. Yeah, because I think Cotter will be a good friend. And killed the attacker, because why wouldn't you? If we didn't kill him, he's just going to come back later, and, I mean, he was obviously trying to kill her, so... I mean, this doesn't make us safe. Whoever sent him is still going to try again to kill us, but at least we got this guy out of the way. I could see maybe him being sent... I don't think it's Tyrion. Because, like I said before, Tyrion overall seems like a pretty decent guy. I think it could be Cersei, though, because she gets really weird in the later books. Like in book 4, her story just gets kind of out of control and a little soap opera-ish. So I could see maybe it being Cersei who sent him. Because who else? Who else is going to try to... We haven't really made any other enemies. Sarah confided in us, so she wants our help. We're pals. Marjorie likes us. We're friends. Tyrion, I think, really does want to try and help us out. Yeah, it's gotta be Cersei. I mean, yeah, we have other enemies, the Whitehills, obviously, but it was a Lannister guard, so I don't think the Whitehills would be able to get a Lannister guard to try and kill a lady from a noble house. I don't think that's the case. I really want Asher to get back, because the house we need Asher to come back. We need the marriage to happen. Once we get that, everything's going to start coming together for us, and we're going to be in a much better position. And now we've got, like, in the works the deal with Tyrion for the Ironwood. Like, there's a lot of things that can go right for us that put our house in a much better position. But in the meantime, until we get that established, we've got all this crap we got to deal with from Whitehall. So if we can just hold on a little bit longer, I think it can work out. I would like to hope that everything will work out all right, but usually things don't work out well for people in Westeros, so I think there's a good chance that some of these deals we've got in the works are going to fall through, but we'll see. But I'm so anxious for Asher to get back to, like I knew when Veska said, when she said, oh, there's this thing in Marine, well, never mind, I shouldn't have brought it up. It won't be a problem. I knew, of course, it's going to be a problem that we're going to have to deal with. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I don't care about what's going on across the Narrow Sea. I don't care what's going on in Marine. I care about what's going on in Westeros, and I want Asher to get back to Ironrath to help out his family. I don't want to be delayed with whatever Veska's got going on. I want her to come with us too. I really like her, but I'm just not really looking forward to that aspect of the story, figuring out whatever her issue is there. We gotta get back to Ironrath. Gotta protect our family. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wind the episode down here. As always, please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this. Come back next time. We'll start episode 3.